Okay, sir. Just to begin with, can you give us a small introduction to yourself and also for the school and how things were before COVID-19 started?
My name is Anas Safluddin. Durham College founded in 2012, and with around 4 teachers and 32 students. Since we started in 2012, it's been a dream to change the education or learning teaching style. The era has to be changed. So we were working towards the children education, how to develop it. So now we have nearly 180 students. It's a village in Kendi district. And also myself, I am the president of Kendi Maktab Center 5, which includes nearly 1,700 students and nearly 77 teachers for religious education for children. So before the COVID-19, I think 13th of March in Sri Lanka, all the government schools and the other schools were stopped learning teaching activities. So since then, we were really looking forward to move or pick up the children education. So we didn't find enough resources. We were keep on doing the research through the Google. We were actually started with some other soft learning management systems also, but it didn't work properly. Since we had a chance to meet Mr. Riaz, he gave us an introduction about the Microsoft Teams. Then we started the Microsoft Teams. Since we started, it's going well. There are lots of experience. And so that's why we were introduced to the Microsoft Teams. I think we had a first training on the 10th of May or 3rd of May. I can't really remember the date. Since then, we are using the Microsoft Teams. Because of the Eid festival, we had 1 week or 10 days holiday. Again, after the holiday, we are starting day after tomorrow, 1st of June on Monday.
Thank you, sir. So before COVID, how was teaching and learning was like at Durham College? What were the challenges you had before COVID in terms of teaching and learning?
Learning, teaching wise, before COVID, we didn't have many challenges. There were some challenges because where we live, geographical position, it doesn't support the teachers to great teachers to come and stay in a village. So it was a major change. That challenge we were facing, getting the good great teachers to our school because of the transport issues and everything. So I think that worry has eliminated because of that online education. I think since we are experienced using the Microsoft Teams, I think we have developed a very big confidence that we could have good teachers from outside our village. They could teach online for our students, regardless in a rural area or whatever it is. So teaching, learning, teaching style has changed. It has broadened the geographical or logistics, whatever it is. So it's a big challenge. It was a big challenge for us to bring the great teachers to our place before the COVID-19, but it was a good advantage for us since we started the online education. That particular challenge has been eliminated from our challenges.
Okay, great. So you mentioned that March 17th there will officially announcement to closure of schools.
Yes.
Um, so what were your challenges after the announcement of COVID-19 lockdown? What were the learning gaps and teaching gaps you had during the announcement and after?
During the announcement, learning teaching wise, I think it was nearly end of first term after we were completing all the co-curriculum activities in January, February, sports meets and the zonal sports, all those things. We were really preparing to the exams, first term exams. Since we got the announcement, it was a bit worry for us what to do for the exams. Meanwhile, we were planned to give the holiday for Ramadan for around 1 month. Because of that, our plan was completely abandoned. We didn't know what to do. Honestly, our staff meeting, we had 3 staff meeting what to do. We didn't have any way out to do, so we completely accept the situation, and we were waiting for clear the lockdown. In between that, since we got the online education, especially Microsoft Teams, it's a major support to pick up the learning, teaching interest back to normal to the parents, students, and the teachers.
Okay, sir. So, times like this sort of create uncertainty not only for the adults but also for the younger generation and for the kids. So, what did you see as solution for this current situation? What was your findings, or what were the solutions that you have come across to sort of get through these sort of times?
It's basically for the children what we need to do, engage ourselves to children time. It's all of our duty, including principal, teachers, fathers, mothers, it could be anybody. It's our part of our responsibility to keep our children time engaged in something which brings the quality time. We have to give them the quality focused time, and on that basis we can observe them. By observing them, spending lots of enough time, quality time with children, that affection brings and broaden the knowledge of children and explore the knowledge of children. But nowadays we could see, before the COVID-19, we could see, especially parents, they were not spending enough time with children. Their knowledge was not exploring enough to learn the new things and educate the learning interest areas of interest was very low. But now we could see, because the many adults or many uh, brotherhoods, they are spending enough time with these children, they are happy now. Because they are happy, their knowledge will be expanded. That will help them and lead them to a good education. Before the COVID-19, what I believe as a family life, it was not balanced with children, because children, they wouldn't understand what's going around them, but they will have a feeling something going wrong around them. By spending quality time with them, they may forget about it. They will feel happy, and they will make themselves jolly. So that's actual the expansion or exploration of a knowledge of a children. So after the COVID-19, one good thing we could see, it's a positive thing. Parents spend enough quality time with children. That's good for mental health of a child.
Okay. Like you mentioned, COVID-19 sort of created the uncertainty, but it also opened new avenues or new paths for adults and the kids to sort of bond with each other. And
That's
also,
correct.
I believe through digital learning, they were able to create a certain bond with the teacher also, while being away from school and the friends they were able to create that bond within among them. So my next question would be, I know you started digital learning somewhere on May 3rd. What are your future plans with digital learning? Do you think this digital learning is a long-term solution or a long-term plan for your school?
It is a considerable proposals I am preparing to future learning teaching methodology. On my view, we should mix the digital learning and the normal general learning methods. Because when it comes to the digital learning, there are certain good points, and also We need the one-to-one interactive also. Interaction has to be there definitely. Where it comes to generally, for example, if my plan is for school in future, I may probably do the digital learning for the children. Out of 5 days, I may allocate a day, one day for the digital learning. That's my point of view. I'm preparing the proposal for it. Because what happens, they should be able to adapt and change themselves to digital or normal learning whenever they need it. It all depends on the scenario or situation, what happens in the country's situation. So we better prepare our children for both in a way they are ready to face the challenges, whatever it is, wherever. And also, it's good to have the digital learning ready for the children because, as I mentioned to you earlier, places like our places to bring the great teachers teaching to our children, it is not possible to bring them to our places. But if we have given our children enough training for the digital learning, it is possible with the assistance of a teacher, we can get the good or great teachers through the digital to our school classroom also. So that is also my future plan. Some of the seminars, some of the very important subject, some lecturers, we may bring them in through the digital to the school classroom also. So that is my future plan.
Okay, sir. Um, I know even as of today, there is no reopening of schools mentioned, or there is no specific date mentioned as of today. Uh, how do you think, even including your schools and other schools, will find their way through during upcoming months? I know students have their ordinary level, I mean, A-level examinations coming up as well. Um, how do you think, as an educator, the schools and the educators will find their way through in coming months?
In, it's good question. It's one is it's a part of responsibility of educators, and also end story is the education is the biggest part. The main part is more responsible of a parent. Basically, what I say, if a father, especially out of the parents, if a father has to explore the world to the children, so it's his part of duty to look for the education, whichever way, even if his school is not functioning, it is his father's responsibility to look for the relevant solutions for his child's education. That solution has to be valued and understood by the mother inside the house to assist the child with the solution. So it's part of need is very important, exploration, and the need is part of mother's duty. Then only child can try it. Whatever he try, when he tries, his effort will bring the interest to his education. So if the mothers, parents value the solution, the children will understand quickly. But what we are as educators, what we have to tell the parents, it's their duty. It is whether its school is functioning or not, tuitions are functioning or not, whether digital learning is there or not. Their duty for their children to explore their knowledge through reading. Reading is the very important and the key feature of education. And reading the materials, they need to bring enough books, and they need to sit down with the kids and spend the time with the kids, and they need to make sure they read enough to gain the knowledge to fulfill their learning teaching for future. If they do that, so even if there's a lockdown time or frozen time, it will be covered for the children. But what we see nowadays, whether they are using the digital or internet based learnings or whatever it is to gain the knowledge, but the parents are not using the necessary, what do you call, digital world or digital facilities to gain the good knowledge. But parents, unfortunately, most of the parents are using that digital format of gaining knowledge to gain the harmful knowledge, unnecessary knowledge. So they should divert their gaining the knowledge towards the useful knowledge and transfer that knowledge to their children. It will be very useful for them. But there is very big responsibility of a parent to make sure they number one, they read enough materials. Reading makes man perfect, definitely. Second, they make sure they don't gain harmful knowledge and they don't transfer that harmful knowledge to their children. They need to gain the useful knowledge from the digital world. That is very, very important. So, as an educator, what we advise the parents, please get the guide from the educators to how to drive their child's education towards this period. Definitely there will be guide for them if they look for the guide with the relevant educators or teachers.
Okay, sir. Last but not least, what is the advice that you can give to parents and teachers, also the educators? Reason because not everyone is supportive of digital learning because it comes with consequences as well, uh, and the restrictions. So, what sort of advice can you give for the adults to make it more effective for the children?
That's basically what they need to do. We all know that every action by intention. They need to make their intention very clear whether physical facilities there or not. They must, it's very important, their children, they must learn. So the parents can spend good time. As I say to you, they can play with them, for example. They can have as many activities, playing like toys or whatever it is, and read with them. And they can do little things with them. And parents, as a father, mother, they can work hard for children's work. So that also children sees that my father is working for me, working hard for me. That brings and that enhance their and it's uplifting their affection between the bond. So that is very important. Working for what we say, it's not just being together, it's not just discussing together, it's the working together brings the success. So if you want to bring succeed your children towards their life, you need to work with them, read with them, write with them, whatever it is. You can go what even gardening, doing the gardening with them. They learn a lot. Knowledge is not only from book; it's basically from the life, whatever balanced life, whatever normal our activities also. And we should, when it comes to the for your question, different ages, different solutions. For children, little children, we should let them ask lots of questions, and we have to answer them. That makes them intellectual IQ level very high. It brings them. So these kind of things, spending enough time with them, make sure quality time. So that brings the one solution. Working together with children as a parents, it helps them a lot. Second, as I said, you reading with them. We have to read a lot. Reading, if it doesn't matter. It can be school books, it can be any other books or newspapers. Reading makes, and the educators also, on my view, we need to come forward and look for the new solutions and learn for the new solutions. Teachers who reads a lot, they never ever they will never ever go down on their uh, road, because the problem, teachers has to learn. If the teachers are keep on learning, that knowledge transfers to students and the parents. We could have parents, as I said to you, like what I did first when I took the Microsoft Teams, I really went through very carefully what are the facilities that is available for our teams or classes. Then I draw the plan on my own view, as a function, how I am going to drive this Microsoft Teams application for my school. Then I put the action plan very clearly in the paper. Then I created all the classrooms as what we call in Microsoft Teams. Then I created all the teachers, allocated the teachers. And I created and then I planned the timetable properly. In that each and every teacher's calendar, I went inside and planned the timetable for them. So added the students, all those things planning done properly. First thing I did, I had a parents meeting. I conducted a parents meeting. At about 90 to 100 parents attended the meeting on that day. The value of digital learning. That presentation was given very clearly. So parents understood that there is something we can gain from that. Now we could see most of the parents, nearly 150 to 60 parents, they are using completely according to our timetable. Children also getting interesting. So that is very important that we have to find the solution as a parents and the educators. Not only whatever it is, it can be any learning management system which should help them. And we need to do it continuously so that that brings the confidence and the credible to child's mind. So they believe that we can do, we can learn through this also. So during the COVID-19 or any holidays, even holidays, it doesn't matter. You don't have to work every day, at least three times, 3 days a week. A little knowledge, it raises on their mind. Goes to their mind. It helps their education. So very important. Spending enough quality time with children, reading, find the new solutions towards the digital. How we can keep on going the learning teaching for the children. As an educators also, we should learn a lot. There's a lot to learn, lot to read, and we will bring the solution. Keep on reading, always will bring the solution. So as my from my experience, I was really looking for and researching very deeply for learning management system. So I found on my view for my school and for my students, for my parents, it become very user friendly. The Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Teams past within past 3 weeks because we started to use it. Meanwhile, when you use it, you will come across with many challenges. So don't never get away from the problems, solve the problem, speak to the relevant people in the training, already got the experience and solve that problem. By solving the problem, that will boost the interest towards that solution. So it is very important looking for new solutions and learning and reading, it will bring them a good knowledge.
Okay, sir. Before I wrap up, would you like to share any feedback about our support by Tech One and the staff and the team itself?
No, Tech One is a already I heard last time also when I was when they were doing the training for us. They are perfect and they are dedicating themselves and especially during this COVID-19 time, their support was always available for us during the day or night, whatever it is. That was the key confidence that we have somebody behind our back like Tech One or whatever Sanjay, whatever it is behind our back to support us. That's a key point that we could learn a lot about the Microsoft Teams, to be honest. Because even during the at around 10 o'clock, around 11 o'clock, in the night time also, we get the answer and we get the yes or no, it's possible or not possible. And we get the training also, especially when we request, they give us the training also. That brought us a broaden our knowledge about the Microsoft Teams because we understood a lot about the Microsoft Teams with their support. So parents understood very quickly because when we give the training for the parents, we don't give them the full full package. We give the
Mm-hmm.
relevant package for them. So Tech One was very supportful, and that is the main reason personally on my knowledge about the Microsoft Teams uh, to bring this level. It's because of their support on time, real time support. Whenever we call them, they give us the feedback. That is very important. I found it's very useful because I was doing research on
Mm-hmm.
the other platforms also. I really dropped it because we didn't have the ongoing support within Sri Lanka from other
Hmm.
learning management systems. That what we see the different the Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Global partners within the Sri Lanka, which we have as one Tech One or Sanjay, that is very useful, very important for us to get the support whenever we need it through the phone.
Great. Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights and experience with us today, uh, giving us the feedback of our support as well. And thank you for sparing 30 minutes to discuss everything. Riaz, would you like to add anything?
No,
Uh,
yes, yes.
Not yet, Rashi, guys. I think all everything was Anas was mentioned. Thank you, Mr. Anas. We are willing to help you. You can call me anytime. That doesn't matter. We are here to help you. Either me or our team was there. We can give our support from our side, our end. You can,
Very
yeah, you can send any suggestions, any upgrades. Last time also you have a request on updates. We have forward to that. Inshallah, will we be back on Monday or
sure.
Tuesday? We'll give the answer for that.
Sure, no problem. And also,
Yeah.
please let all the schools know to draw their plan and drive the Microsoft Teams platform according to their needs.
Yes,
Yeah.
Some
correct.
schools are finding they are trying to fix the school to the Microsoft Teams platform. Tell them not to fix the Microsoft Team. They need to fix the Microsoft Teams to their school system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
It's flexible with the
Correct.
Yeah,
Microsoft
that's
Teams
good.
platform. That
Yes.
is very important point because when the schools try to fix the school inside the Microsoft Teams platform, they fail. They don't understand it.
Yes.
You
Correct.
can fix the Microsoft Teams platform to your school system. That
Mhm.
succeed you a lot for the future.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you,
I
Mr.
think,
Anas.
thank
Yes.
you, sir. I think that's it for today. So thank you very much for joining with us
All right.
and
Thanks for your
sharing
time,
this
Ashish.
wonderful information.
All right.
We'll hopefully see you soon, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Well,